like to call to order this meeting of the Parkside Borough Council. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
If we could start with the roll call, please, Bob.
I apologize in advance for any names I mess up. Mrs. Roman, she's here.
She is here.
I see Mr. Powers is on vacation. Mrs. Purcival?
Here.
Mr. Costigan? Here. Mr. Sidlow?
Here.
Mr. Willis?
Here.
Mr. Sweigart?
Here.
Mr. Rodo?
Here.
Mr. Bull?
Here.
Mrs. Guy?
Here.
Mrs. Stillwell?
She's here.
Maha Matagi? Daniel Bronowitz?
Is Daniel coming?
He's not coming tonight.
Leon Morris?
All right, is there any correspondence?
I have a few. Bear with me. I received an email from Kyle Palmer asking for a signed copy of Resolution 1836. Was not able to find the signed copy of the resolution, but we did find the final copy with an email that indicated that it had been approved at the previous night's meeting. Sorry?
Can you please speak up? I can't hear.
I'm sorry.
Harry, maybe put that speaker.
I received a phone call from a Renisha Knight. Apparently B&L is consistently not picking up her trash, so I need to make a call to B&L to see if we can't get that rectified. I received a phone call from a Sean Farrell wanting to know if the borough had a dump site, and in talking to some of the council members I found we don't, so I need to call him back. That's it, that's all I have.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And Mayor Roman.
Okay, so we're going to swear in 3 part-time officers, and then I guess Michael can talk about his report, so then I'll give my regular report. So, crimes reported in May, false ID to police, there was one theft and 2 criminal mischief. Calls for service were 234. Out of them, 5 of them were medical emergencies, 7 domestic, 6 suspicious people, 7 were alarms, 36 building checks, 28 were assist other agencies, accidents 3, traffic detail 35, motor vehicle stops 107, traffic citation 15, warnings 92.
And so I'll make a motion that we hire Dominic Yoakum Davis, Anthony Corrado, and Michelle Fessler as part-time police officers.
I'll second.
Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved.
Okay, so shall we do that now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Bob? Mr. Bob?
Yes.
Did you bring that Bible?
No.
Dominic, can I have you up here first?
While we're waiting, let me give you a little bit of background on each of the 3 individuals. The first one we're going to swear in is Dominic Yoakum Davis. He's 22. He's from Upland. He's a graduate of Archbishop Carroll High School in June of 19, enrolled at Newman University studying criminal justice. Graduated from the Police Academy at Delaware County in July of 2020. He's currently employed full-time with the Delaware County Park Police, and he also serves as a volunteer with the Upland Fire Company. Dominic, you have somebody that's going to hold the Bible for you?
You
can, or?
She can absolutely hold it.
You got it.
Put your right hand up. Repeat after me. I, and speak your name,
I, Dominic Yoakum Davis,
do solemnly swear that I will support,
do solemnly swear that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
of the United States
of the United
and
States
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
and the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the laws of Pennsylvania,
of the law of Pennsylvania,
and the ordinances and regulations
and the ordinance and regulations
of Parkside Borough.
of Parkside Borough.
I also swear that I will uphold,
I also swear that I will uphold,
obey, and enforce
obey, and enforce
the law without consideration
law without consideration
to a person's race,
to a person's race,
color, sex,
color, sex,
religious creed,
religious creed,
sexual orientation,
sexual orientation,
national origin, ancestry,
national origin and ancestry,
handicap, or disability.
handicap, or disability.
I will perform the duties
I will perform the duties
of patrol officer
of patrol officer
in the Borough of Parkside,
of the Borough of Parkside,
fidelity and honor,
fidelity and honor,
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Mayor?
Thank you.
We need to get that signed.
Yep.
Take care of that.
This sound your way.
All right, the second one is Anthony Corrado. Anthony is 32 years old, originally from Brookhaven, where he was born and raised. He's a 2009 graduate of Sun Valley High School. He resides in Claymont, Delaware, with his wife Angela and their little baby, who are here, Mia. Anthony graduated from the Police Academy here in Delaware County in December of 2013, and he currently works full-time with the Delaware County Sheriff's Office. Somebody going up? Angela, going up?
Repeat after me. I, speak your name,
I, Anthony Corrado,
do solemnly swear that I will support,
do solemnly swear that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United States,
Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the laws of Pennsylvania,
the laws of Pennsylvania,
and the ordinances and regulations of Parkside Borough.
and the law and ordinance of Parkside Borough.
I also swear that I will uphold,
I also swear that I will uphold,
obey, and enforce
obey, and enforce
the law without consideration
the law without consideration
to a person's race,
to a person's race,
color, sex,
color, sex,
religious creed,
religious creed,
sexual orientation, age,
sexual orientation, age,
national origin,
national origin,
ancestry, handicap,
ancestry, handicap,
or disability.
or disability.
I will perform the duties
I will perform the duties
of patrol officer
of patrol
in the
officer
Borough of Parkside
of the Borough of Parkside
with fidelity and honor
with fidelity and honor
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my abilities,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I saw you today with the sheriff's office, yeah. Yeah, I said, yeah, I was over there too. Thank you. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
But we'll get another couple quick.
Okay.
We are partially Sun Valley people here.
Go back in the office in a minute. Okay, sit down for now. And the third one is Michelle Fessler. Michelle's 26 years old, currently resides here in the borough. She's a 2015 graduate of Springfield High School, graduated from Westchester University in 2019 with a degree in criminal justice. She graduated from the Police Academy here in Delaware County in July of 2020, and Michelle is also currently employed full-time with the Delaware County Park Police.
Okay. I state your name.
I, Michelle Fessler,
Do solemnly swear that I will support,
do solemnly swear that I will support,
obey, and defend
obey, and defend
the Constitution of the United States,
the Constitution of the United
the
States,
Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
the laws of Pennsylvania,
the laws of Pennsylvania,
and the ordinances and regulations
and the ordinance of regulations
of Parkside Borough.
of Parkside Borough.
I also swear that I will uphold,
I also swear that I will uphold,
obey, and enforce
obey, and enforce
the law without consideration
the law without consideration
to a person's race,
to a person's race,
color, sex,
color, sex,
religious creed,
religious creed,
sexual orientation,
sexual orientation,
age,
age,
national origin, ancestry,
national origin, ancestry,
handicap, or disability.
handicap, or disability.
I will perform the duties of patrol officer
I will perform the duties of patrol officer
in the Borough of Parkside
in the Borough of Parkside
with fidelity and honor
with fidelity and honor
to the best of my abilities,
to the best of my abilities.
so help me God.
So help me God.
I thought I was done.
Good one.
Good.
Thank you. Oh, okay.
So, Chief, how many full-time, you have 4 full-time officers.
Full-time.
How many part-time officers do you have now?
We have 4 currently. These 3 will make 7.
7, okay.
Yes. And we still have 2 that we're doing backgrounds on.
Okay.
Remember, part-timers don't cost us any money until we use them.
Right.
So we have 20 part-timers. It'd be good for the borough to have as many as we possibly can to draw from.
Right.
Thank you. Yes, if you came for the swearing in, you don't have to stay for the rest of the meeting. Our feelings don't get hurt.
In other words, please leave.
Yes, do yourself a favor. All right, so the next item is call to citizens for agenda-related items only. If there should be a sign-up sheet there, and nobody for agenda items, okay, might be a quick meeting. For my president's report, first we had an executive session since the last meeting to discuss personnel issues, and we then, as you may know, we had a special session that was open to the public where we voted to hire Bob as our secretary. Bob, wave to everybody, say hi. I think I speak for everybody when I say that we are all thrilled to have him manning the phones and the emails and dealing with the public, and we look forward to working with you. And of course, I'd like to congratulate the 3 officers. Looks like a great group of people. local, right?
Yes.
So that's nice. And so in the effort to make it a short meeting, I will move on to the finance report.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Last month, we hired a special counsel, and you were unsure of if he was having a retainer and what the hourly rate was. Did we clarify that?
Oh, I do have that, but I don't have it with me.
Could you send it to all of council?
Absolutely.
And to prevent any tax dollars being spent with issues and questions and concerns, I'm wondering if council would be agreeable if Mr. Sweigart and I would be a liaison between the fire company and council with any questions or concerns.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, the reason you stated that we were hiring special counsel for the fire company was you had questions and concerns.
Right.
Which I don't know what they are, but I thought that it would save attorney fees, and I'm volunteering Perry, that he and I take those questions and concerns to the fire company, and therefore saving tax dollars on a special counsel.
Well, I did send those questions, and I'm pretty sure you were copied on the response. But, you know, Perry, is that something you're interested in?
I'd be willing to do that. Plus, that also eliminates Mr. Powers from any conflicts.
Exactly.
So,
I sent an email on May 18th asking what the questions and concerns were. I don't believe I received a reply.
Oh, I didn't. I thought you were copied on those emails. I apologize. I'll make sure you get them.
Thank you. And also, last month, we brought up the issue of the insurance liability for the parks, and you were going to contact our broker to see what they recommended as far as the liability insurance limits.
Right, and what she did say is that if a group were to hold an event here and they did not have their own insurance, then they could be held liable for anything that happens. The borough would not be held liable, but that the organizers of the event could be held liable.
And what limits did they recommend that any larger group would have as far as the liability for the event? Was it $1 million, 100,000?
I've got it in an email that I'll also forward to you because I just got that yesterday.
Thank you.
Okay, are we ready to move on, Mr. Bull?
Thank you, Madam President, ladies and gentlemen. The Treasurer's Report of the Borough of Parkside for date June 15th, 2023, meeting June 21st, 2023. All bank accounts are reconciled through May 31st, 2023, except for the Sharon Bank escrow and the Green Tree escrow accounts, which have very little movement. We do not have the statements for those accounts. We're including the bank reconciliations and statements for all reconciled funds for council's approval. General fund, month of May, $49,117.83 was deposited into the TD Bank with expenses of $4,191.51 that were paid. During this period, $76,160.22 of deposits were received into the Sharon Bank General Fund, and $131,773.24 of expenses were paid, including payroll of $51,605. Below are the bank balances as of 5/31. General account, Sharon Bank, $1,102,576. $102,576.36, with interest of $25.61. TD Bank balance $309,175.61. Pliget $224.83. General account WSFS is $15,142.47. Escrow account for Sharon Bank is $24,832.37. Escrow for TD Bank is $31,730.78. Park account $840 through Pliget. Police fund vest police vest fund Pliget account is $6,754.85. Liquid fuels Pliget account is $8,823.77. And the liquid fuels TD Bank is $88.32. The treasurer made a fantastic point about moving some of our general account funds into an interest-bearing account through Pliget. I think this is a fantastic idea. So the plan is to move $400,000 into the Pliget account over the next month, and possibly $25,000 from the liquid fuels into the Pliget account for an interest-bearing until negative. With that, I will make a motion to accept the treasurer's report.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you, Madam President. At this time, I would like to make a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Thank you again, Madam President. At this point, I would like to move on to our open space and just let you know that even though it's more streets and public works, there has been a few complaints about, may actually end up being the Army Corps of Engineers with the stream bank over there, and then one on one of the streets that I have to make a couple follow-up calls while Rob's on vacation. So those are all under general progress for open space. With that.
Thank you very much. Let's see, next is junior council report.
So I just want to, now that we're into June, I want to thank all of our junior council members for their hard work this year, for attending the meetings. I think you guys have learned a lot, and it's been great working with you. So I just wanted to present you with certificates for your hard work this year and dedication to the junior council program. So, Brianna? And
Good job.
and hopefully they'll be sticking with us for another year next year and continuing on their great work. I'll turn it over to you guys if you have any.
Yeah, I actually had an idea for a project I wanted to do. So basically, it's just like a small business spotlight video. It's going to be a short video that can be posted on Facebook or the website to hopefully highlight the businesses we have in Parkside. I have experience making documentaries, so no tools will be needed for filming. The best part of this project is that it will cost no money at all. All that needs to be done is a simple interview with business owners, and I want this project to highlight Parkside and hopefully allow businesses more revenue as well as exposure to our borough. And I want to hopefully call this Spotlight on Edgemont. Some potential businesses I want to talk to are Philly Gems, Genie Beans, the New Jamaican Restaurant, Golden Garden, Raven's Edge, Elbows, Clark's Tire Automotive Center, New Level Nutrition, Curly's Car Care and Diagnostics, Fix Buy Phone Repair, and any other businesses not mentioned or don't mention.
Excellent.
Great idea.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. And since it doesn't cost anything, we don't need to vote on anything. So wonderful. That's a great idea. We'll definitely put it on the website, right? Oh, yeah.
YouTube.
YouTube, yep. Yeah, YouTube. That's where it all goes. All right. Is there anything else? So are you accepting applications for people who are interested at this time, or?
At this time, no, because we're going to keep the 3 that we have.
Okay.
If any spot opens up, then we'll accept new applications.
All right. Thank you. Recreation, please.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I'd like to Recreation's been working hard on our events. We all know this weekend is our movie night, but we might have to postpone it because of the weather. The movie was On the Ice for the Kids. I figured that would be a really good, that was one of my suggestions. But because it's a good family movie. The 4th of July, we're doing just like we've done in the past. And that starts at 11 a.m. We are also working on our Community Day for September 16th. But for that, I just want to say, I want to report general progress in our recreation community. Unless anybody has anything to say about.
Quick question, the movie night is this Saturday?
It's supposed to be on the 24th. I'm up in the air on calling that tonight because the weather changes so quickly, so I might, I guess I'll call it tomorrow night, get what the committee, get everybody's idea of what they think.
Okay.
And then if we postpone it, I'm thinking October-ish, because there's so many events coming up in the summertime. And people going away on vacation, this was like the ideal time to do it.
Okay, all right, so if you do decide to postpone it, please make sure that Theo knows so that he can update on the website.
Absolutely.
All right, excellent, thank you. And what's next? Let's see, police, public safety.
I want to again congratulate our 3 new part-time officers that we hired tonight. I think when you look at our department tonight compared to where we were a year ago, I think it's been a remarkable turnaround that we've made and great progress. So I want to thank all of council for their hard work and their effort towards building up our police department, and especially thank Chief Murray for all his due diligence that he's committed to making sure that everything is good to go with our police department. Also tonight, we're going to hopefully be approving the agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police to shift the schedules around a little bit to go from an 8-hour schedule to a 12-hour schedule. That has been requested by Chief Murray and the officers, which is a schedule that most police departments have in Delaware County. So we'll hopefully be approving that, and I want to again thank Chief Murray and Solicitor Wills for their hard work on those efforts. So that's all I have for police and public safety.
Thank you.
I have a question for the chief.
Yes.
I know we had some vandalism in the woodlot, and the automatic lights are not working. Has that been corrected, and do we know who has been down there writing graffiti?
We do not. And to be quite honest, we haven't gotten a report from anybody that this is going on. I mean, other than, hearing talk about it.
Okay.
We haven't gotten an official report from anybody saying that this has happened. The guys are keeping an eye on it best they can, but I don't have an answer for you as to who has.
Are the lights back working?
I don't know the answer.
No. Say no.
No? Okay.
We can check with Brian and see if we can get down there.
Find out what happened. I know many of the council have received reports that the lights are out down there and there's graffiti. I'm sorry that nobody actually made a report.
I thought on something over the Pat one day.
We'll get it in.
Okay, thank you.
So there is graffiti or there's not graffiti?
There is graffiti.
There is.
Yes.
And where is it?
Along the walk, somebody sent an email to the borough, and I brought it over to the police department.
Okay.
All right, ordinance report.
Good evening, everybody. So at the last meeting, we spent about 30 or 40 minutes discussing Ordinance 119 occupancy, Ordinance 126 parks and recreation, and 129 peddling and soliciting. Some changes and tweaks we were going to make to those. I sent those suggested changes to Mr. Wills. He reviewed them, he sent them back to me, and they've sat in my inbox since then, so I have not finished working with Mr. Wills on those changes and cleaning that up. So we'll get that to you probably for the next meeting. We also talked about the fee schedule, proposed fee schedule for borough fees. And once again, I did not spend that much time on that. I did have a meeting with Mr. Ferguson about that, and we're still drawing conclusions on how to proceed there. And so that's ordinances. I also have licenses and inspections.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Last meeting, we discussed the permit situation for senior citizens,
Yes.
and you asked if I would do some research, which I did.
Okay.
And Aston, Brookhaven, Haverford, Upland all give senior citizens with proof of their senior ability, or veterans, or disabled, 50% off of the permit. And other
50%.
Yes, one half.
Okay.
And other municipalities, what they will do is give up to 10% discount to seniors, disabled, or veterans. So I thought I'd let you know that.
Okay. Thank you for that.
Ms. Percival,
Yes.
you were in this seat up until 2 years ago. I guess I'm curious why you never brought up this discount previously.
I never knew that other municipalities had just started it. I spoke with several of the municipalities, and this has only been incorporated in the last several years. And the 50% comes off of the municipality's share, so that the inspector actually does not lose any income, but we give them, the seniors, disabled, or a veteran, a 50% discount. And it's usually, from what I understand, Upland does it all year round. Aston does it one time. Brookhaven is all permits all year round. So there's a variation, but apparently this has only been started in the last couple of years. And that's how I heard about it. I actually heard about it in November. Actually October, and I brought it up in November's meeting, and I also brought it up in February's meeting.
Okay, did you want to move on to licenses and inspections?
Yeah. So for licenses and inspection, there were 10 building permits for residential, no plumbing permits, 5 residential mechanical permits, 1 residential electrical permit, and 2 use and occupancy for residential. There were no commercial permits in the month. I also want to report that we're halfway through the process of the engineering on the streetlights. If you remember, a couple of meetings ago, we voted to approve about $3,100 to have an engineering study done of the streetlights to figure out how many we have, what wattage lamps would be appropriate for replacement, how far away each streetlight is from another. So that work was performed this month. I met the person who was on site doing them. He showed me exactly what he was doing at each streetlight. He takes about 15 pictures, and he has to measure the height of the streetlight, and like I said, the distance between streetlights. And there was a whole bunch of data points that he was collecting, and that information is being has been brought back to Keystone Lighting Solutions, which is the lighting designer on this project, and they are putting together the engineering and the details of the streetlights that would potentially replace our existing streetlights. So that occurred this month, and we're waiting on the next steps. So that's my update on streetlights.
Okay. Code enforcement.
Madam President, I have a report from Nick, if you'd like me to read it.
Sure.
CEO report. One issue, overgrown grass, 2700 block of Edgemont Avenue. One, open investigation between Homeland Security and code enforcement officer for 3 illegal immigrants residing in a 1-bedroom apartment. One issue of unsafe dwelling, a roof collapse on 2600 block of Edgemont Avenue. Fire Marshal Rob Powers and Fire Chief Dave Lamy was notified. Chief Lamy will notify surrounding boroughs of this hazardous building. One issue of littering on the unit block of West Garrison. Reminder to all residents, ordinance number 116-9, no person shall discharge leaves or grass into the street. That's all I have.
Thank you very much. And so now, does anyone have anything for Public Works?
Yes, I do. So, well, unfortunately, we're having a situation where the air conditioning in the borough office is not working, and potentially also the air conditioning in the hallway. It serves the conference room, the 2 bathrooms, the hallway, and the kitchen. So that's there are 2 units potentially not working right now. Now, the big problem that we have is that the unit serving the office has no access to it. There's no way to get to the unit. I don't know how a building was designed without an access to the HVAC unit. I mean, it's my understanding it was approximately 2003 this building was reconstructed. So since for 20 years, that HVAC unit has not been serviced or accessed or anything like that. So
Air filter.
yeah, I don't know how the air filter was ever changed, if there is an air filter. So Mr. Powers and I have had so far 2 HVAC contractors out. ERS came out to diagnose and try to figure out the problem, and then we had Delphiria come out as well. But he said the same thing, there's nothing I can do until we have attic access. The appointment I had with the 3rd contractor, Oliver, I postponed that until we can create attic access. So if anybody wants to see after the meeting, I have the drawings of the HVAC plan, and I can show you where the attic, where the system is located in the attic that's inaccessible. There's no way to get to it from the attic pull-down stairs through the men's bathroom. There's a pony wall or a knee wall in the way, so it's just a not a great situation. To solve the problem of the borough office not being cooled, I went to my rental property where I had 4 window air conditioners that are no longer being used because I put central air conditioning in those units. So I have 4 air conditioners. I've installed 2, one in Mr. Ferguson office and one to the left of the copier. Bob tells me that's keeping it cool enough for now. If it's not cool enough, we have 2 more air conditioners that can be installed. So the crisis of not having air conditioning in the office, I think, is not a major crisis for now. We have a way of cooling the office while we figure things out. Okay, so I have an appointment scheduled with a contractor called A to Z General Contracting on Friday. They're going to take a look at the office area and try to help me figure out how to create access to the HVAC systems. My thought at this point is that we just create a hole in the ceiling to give us the ability to go in the attic and get our HVAC contractors in there to just get a sense of what is in there, what needs to be replaced, and get at least the process of getting some estimates started. Those contractors will probably tell us that in order to take the old air conditioner out, we're going to need to put in pull-down stairs. So when I speak with A to Z Contracting on Friday, I'm going to get a price for first a scuttle hole and then secondly pull-down stairs. I'm concerned with pull-down stairs that we're going to have to readjust the joist because a pull-down stairs is going to be the width of 2 joist bays. So we're going to have to cut out, a 6-foot section of joist, and there's a little bit of engineering that's involved in making those kinds of construction changes. So that's where we are with the attic. Mr. Wills tells me that we do not need more than one proposals if the cost of evaluating is $2,500.
Keep it minimal, yes, without having to go through formal bidding or anything of that nature, or getting rewritten bids.
Yeah.
You know, again, given the circumstances, that I think this is a time-sensitive project that needs to be done ASAP. Again, given the fact that as of today, I believe, or was it yesterday? Today is June 21st. Today begins the first day of summer. And although the heat and humidity has not quite hit us yet, I suspect the heat and humidity is right around the corner. So we certainly want to tackle this project sooner rather than later.
So what I would like to ask council for is approval to spend up to that $2,500 amount to create access into the attic, so that I can get, so $2,500 to create attic access as necessary and as appropriate. And then hopefully that access will be installed with time that I can get 3 HVAC contractors into the attic so that we can get proposals to discuss.
Minimum than 3 written bids, yes.
We definitely need 3 bids for the HVAC improvements.
Yes.
For next month's meeting.
Exactly.
So I'm hoping to create attic access this month. I'm hoping to get 3 HVAC contractors out to get bids. So I guess I'm motioning for $2,500, up to $2,500.
Do we have questions on that one?
I'll second that.
Do we have questions? Can we ask questions?
Please.
Absolutely.
What about the access through the police?
You can't get to the, no, you can't, you can't get to the portion of the attic that we're talking about, to the attic above the office.
Through the police office?
No.
There's no access from that area or the bathrooms to go around to here.
No, there's drywall separating this half of the building right above this wall here, this wall in the hallway here. There's a, it's been drywalled up. There's no access to this drop ceiling area in this room, and there's no access to the front room.
I know it goes straight up to the ceiling through here.
Yeah.
My only other question is, we just paid like a lot of money to have a lot of ductwork done, and I would find it.
It was for a different system. So we have 5 HVAC systems. The money that we paid all that money for was the police station system. If you want, I can take a minute and I can show you the construction drawings.
We can probably do it after.
We can do that after as
But
well.
I just,
The monies that we spent was for a different project. That was for the police department. We're talking about the 2 ACs, and Mr. Sidlow, correct me if I'm wrong, one here, and the one, if you go straight into the office, it's above Mr. Ferguson's office.
Right, so there are 5 HVAC systems in this building. This is the office up front here, and there's an HVAC system located right here. There's also an HVAC system located above this room, right here. And then there is one in the hallway, and one back here, and then there's one for the police station, and one over here. So I can show you this in detail after the meeting.
yeah, I'm just interested about the filters, because it's been years since there wasn't a filter, I would think that.
It doesn't make sense to me. And I thought about this before it broke down, going, where is this fifth
And there's
HVAC
no way
system?
between the two. Sorry.
It's all
My
dry.
apologies, Madam
No.
President.
Mr. Bull, I'd be happy to bring you upstairs if you'd like to.
Yeah, if we could do that, that'd be fantastic.
Okay, we can do that after the meeting.
And does the engineer have any ideas as far as accessing the one that's in the office, other than the pull-down steps?
Being a retrofit, it's really going to be case specific, but that's probably the cheapest and most efficient way to go.
Okay.
Any other questions? Does everybody understand the motion? Do we have to make another motion for getting the 3 bids? Or
That would be next month.
All right, all right, thank you. All right, so the motion is up to $2,500 to gain access to to the HVAC system. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Okay, we ready to move on to, does anybody have anything? Health inspector, fire marshal, emergency management? Moving on. Moving on to recycling.
Thank you. Our totals for last month, we had 21.28 tons of recycling, 111.74 tons of regular trash, and also July 4th is around the corner. July 4th is a Tuesday. We will not have regular trash on Tuesday. Regular trash will be on Wednesday, the 5th, with no recycling that week. Thank you. And that's all I have.
Okay, no recycling. I'm so glad my husband put it out. Okay. Next is communications.
Thank you, Madam President. Our next newsletter is going to be out probably the beginning of August. So you take a look for that. One of the things I'd like to request, and if we have, Mr. Solicitor, Mr. Wolf,
Yes.
if I have to adjust the agenda, looking for a amount of $350. I discussed this before about creating a like a one-page, just like highlight thing that'll take them to the online version of the newsletter. I'm looking to do $350 per issue, or not to exceed, so we can create those hard flyers that we can distribute through the community.
Best practice would call that we make a motion to
Adjust.
adjust or modify the agenda to include that agenda item, and then a secondary motion on the substance of the motion itself.
I'd like to make a motion to amend the agenda to include the motion for money for the communication committee.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved.
Okay, now that the agenda has been amended, I'd like to make a motion for $350 per issue, or not to exceed $350 per issue for a hard copy highlight to be handed out to the community.
Who's delivering it?
Members of the communications committee volunteer to hand deliver.
Is that for printing cost?
Yes.
So one page, $350, so these are color copies?
Yes. So we can get a few of the photos in there.
A teaser.
Teaser for all the different articles that are there.
Multi-copy does a great job, and it runs about 35 cents
Yeah.
a copy, so if you're at 1,000 copies, you're at $300.
Yeah.
You get a discount.
They're very reasonable.
All right, do we have a second?
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved.
And other than that, I can just report general progress.
Do you have a meeting
Oh,
scheduled?
Next meeting would be, thank you for reminding me, Madam President. Next meeting is going to be Tuesday, July 11th, 6:30 here in the council chambers.
Okay, do we have anything from the tax collector? Bob, no? Okay. And so now it is Mr. Rodo, engineer's report.
Thank you, Madam President. As reported last meeting, the flashing beacons have been installed on Edgemont and Forest View. As-built drawings have been submitted to PennDOT for review and approval. Recommend payment number 2 and final to Armour & Sons in the amount of $3,149.70, accounting for the 10% retainage that was held.
So moved.
Second.
Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So moved, thank you.
West Cole Memorial, Ernell Company has sent over their submittals, and this project will be starting shortly. Notice the receipt has been given. We will be requesting the initial 50% of the grant funds up front, which amounts to $4,675 from the Greenways grant as recommended by the county. And that concludes my report.
I appreciate you getting that grant for us. And are there any questions? We'll move on to Mr. Wells.
Thank you, Madam President, and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. The June 21st Solicitor's Report is as follows. Number one concerns the Fraternal Order of Police Collective Bargaining Agreement. As Council is aware, the borough's present collective bargaining agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police, which does not expire until December 31st of 2026, provides for an 8-hour patrol shift. The borough's police officers have requested that the borough move to a 12-hour patrol shift, which is the norm with most municipal police departments here in Delaware County. Now, my office, along with the assistance of Chief Murray, and in consultation with Lodge Number 27 of the Fraternal Order of Police, have drafted an addendum to the collective bargaining agreement, which would provide for a 12-hour patrol shift effective July the 1st of 2023, again, for a 6-month trial basis. At the conclusion of the initial trial period, Chief Murray shall have the discretion to discontinue the shifts if it is not in the best interest of the borough, or to continue with the shifts for the duration of the contract period. And so, if it is the pleasure of Borough Council, a motion would be in order to approve the agreement with the Fraternal Order of Police, Delaware County Lodge Number 27, amending the collective bargaining agreement to include a 12-hour work shift commencing July the 1st of 2023.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Are there any questions?
That was circulated, right? We don't have
That
copies.
that is correct.
We don't have copies at the desk.
I do not have copies, but it was circulated approximately a week to 10 days ago.
June 14th.
Yep.
1 week ago.
And it is fulfilling the chief's dream of scheduling with 12-hour shifts with 4 full-timers. So if there's no questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved.
Very well. Second item on my agenda concerns right-to-know law request. Again, my office continues to work diligently with the borough's new open records officer, Mr. Costigan, in responding to multiple right-to-know law requests, including appeals before the Pennsylvania Office of Open Records. I am pleased to advise that the borough continues to experience an exceptionally high rate of success in achieving favorable outcomes before the Pennsylvania Office of Open Records. 3, the Ordinance Committee. Again, my office has worked extensively with Ordinance Committee Chair Scott Sidlow in drafting amendments and modifications to multiple borough ordinances that appear somewhat outdated and in need of revision. Again, those proposed amendments concern the borough's ordinances entitled Occupancy, Parks and Recreation, and Peddling and Soliciting. I would expect the Ordinance Committee Chair will be sharing that work with the council as a whole during the next month. Fourth item on my agenda concerns a zoning opinion letter. Earlier this month, my office had drafted a zoning opinion letter to a real estate broker representing the property owner of the vacant car wash at 31 Edgemont Avenue. The property is presently zoned C1 Commercial Zoning District, and the present owner may have an interest in selling and/or leasing that facility. As we know, that facility has laid vacant and dormant for many years. Again, my letter advised of the permissible present uses for that particular premises. Fifth item on my agenda concerns, again, proposed legislation in Harrisburg.
Can we back up? What are the proposed uses?
Right now, it was proposed to be re-entered as a car wash. But again, a car wash is not permissible in a C1 zoning district. It is only permissible in a C2 zoning district. And unfortunately, that was utilized as what we call a pre-existing non-conforming use, meaning it had existed before the adoption of the current ordinance, and the property owner was allowed to continue with that pre-existing non-conforming use up until it closed. And the zoning ordinance says that if a pre-existing non-conforming use is abandoned for a period of 6 months or more, then that use reverts back to its present zoning, which is C1. So the property owner would require either a variance or a special exception to operate that property back as a car wash.
Okay. So what can it be used for? What does C1 mean?
C1, there is approximately, and I don't have the zoning ordinance in front of me, there's approximately 1 dozen permissible uses in the C1 zoning district that property could be used as a matter of right. Again, I can get that for you. I don't have the zoning ordinance in my immediate attention here.
So if the property sells, is there any environmental are there any environmental stipulations? Because they had gas tanks in that one time, right?
There are other issues, right, that the Pennsylvania DEP is involved in. And I do not want to speak for the Pennsylvania DEP, but there are also some other environmental concerns. And if that property was in fact to change hands, I would contact our friends at the Pennsylvania DEP and advise them of that fact, and indicate that the property may be used for a different usage, and then Pennsylvania DEP would get in touch with the new proposed property owner.
There's a deed restriction on that property.
Yes.
There is a deed restriction on that.
That's correct.
And what is the restriction?
As I mentioned in the beginning of the year, doing some research on that property, as Mr. Wills said, not only would it not be able to be used as it was currently, but DEP launched various deed restrictions because of the chemicals that were there.
So presumably the seller knows that and has to disclose that.
That was in litigation for many years because the current owner, the prior owner did not divulge what was going on to the current owner when it was sold. So there was litigation for several years. There's been ongoing litigations for several years along with DEP issues. Now it's been settled with deed restrictions.
What a mess.
Oh, yeah.
What a mess.
That property has multiple issues, and I will leave it at that. Fifth item on my agenda concerns, again, proposed legislation in Harrisburg. Again, my office continues to provide Borough Council with advance notice of proposed legislation pending in the Pennsylvania General Assembly in Harrisburg that may affect local municipal government, including, again, changes to the civil service provisions and the lifting of the prohibition against elected borough officials serving simultaneously as a borough employee in municipalities having a population in excess of 3,000. And with that, Madam President, I can report general progress.
Thank you very much. Next item on the agenda is call to citizens, I guess for non-agenda items. And if you'd like to go up, if there's a sign-up sheet, you don't have to give your address because we're on YouTube.
There's no sign-up sheet. But
No sign-up sheet. Well, I know your name.
I can move the back of an agenda if you don't want to make it on for anybody who comes after me. So I have 10 hours. Just one question. I was going to mention the lights. I'm glad somebody else brought up the wood lot lights because a neighbor had mentioned to me that they were out. It was a concerning thing. So I said, since I was going to the meeting, I would mention that, but somebody else already addressed that. I just have a quick question about, I'm glad that the car wash thing was brought up in the solicitor's report, because that property has always been so strange to me, like that it's like, not strange that it was a car wash, but that it's just been vacant for so long. And it's kind of like, the borough in some ways has kind of like exercised kind of like eminent domain, not eminent domain, that's not what I mean, because I'm not an attorney and I'm not using the right language, but like using it for things. When it has been used for things like events, like I think a couple of years ago, there was like a Back the Blue event. Was that like a permitted event? Since we've been talking about uses of spaces and or was the property owner like asked if it could be used in such a manner? Does anybody?
I wasn't involved with the Back the Blue planning.
My understanding is that permission was given, because it's private property, to use it for that event. I was not involved with the owner at that time, but that was my understanding.
Or you were not involved with like the planning of that?
I was not. It was planned by two private residents.
I was just curious because it seems like it's used a lot for, not used formally, that was like a formal usage of it, but it's used naturally as kind of like it's where like the crosswalk is, and so I could see that being an issue if like it's became a business again or something.
My understanding is that was the first and only time that business was used for an event.
Oh.
However, I have been near the school when school has had events and people use it to park.
Yeah.
And I don't think they're getting permission to do that.
Yeah, I guess that, I mean, it's kind of like
an overflow.
And I mean, everybody's done that before in different places. You use like unoccupied parking where you can find it, but I was just curious. Okay, thank you.
I'm Nate Sweigart. I would just like to thank you for your generous scholarship given to me. It will help me continue my education at Penn State next year. And as well, I would like to report that my Eagle Scout project was completed and I did achieve my rank.
Yay! Yay.
That's not good news, that's great news.
That is great news.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And I would like to
So you get the Penn State children.
Thank you.
And that's all. Thank you.
Good job.
That's on these. I just wanted to invite everybody in the borough this Sunday to the corner of, I forget what it is, your street.
Forest View?
Forest View and the avenue for Parkside's Pride celebration. We invited from 5 to 7. We invite everybody to come out, put on your rainbow flag, your rainbow shirt, your feather boa, and just celebrate inclusion. We're looking forward to a really fun event, so I just wanted to bring that up. And I had a question about electronics recycling. Is it possible for us to get another one of those events going on? Because I know the trash company will not touch them.
The county is sponsoring several events. If you go on to Delaware County Solid Waste, they are free for the county residents. We have had several unbudgeted items this year so far, so to spend that kind of money this year may not be feasible.
Yeah, I was also wondering if maybe we can include it with the shredding event, because I've got about 5 dozen boxes of old blueprints down in my basement.
And again, the county, if you go to Delaware County Solid Waste, they're running numerous events throughout the county. The one also closest to us would be Rose Tree Park, but I don't have their schedule, I'm sorry.
No, it's just First Street Park, couldn't be an Upland Park.
The Upland just did one.
They had one.
Last month. So there's a lot of municipalities. Brookhaven has one coming up. Again, I don't. Last year they made the exception. We were involved, but
They did, but not anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, all right. But again,
But they got the totals.
this Sunday, we encourage everyone to come out and join us in celebrating inclusion and LGBTQ plus pride. So, thanks everybody.
Rain or shine?
Rain or shine.
Yeah, we don't melt.
Nobody's gonna rain on our board.
Okay, so if nobody else has anything, is there any old business? There's a few things on new business, and I'd like to add something if y'all will indulge me. But first, let's start with, we need to get bonded. So I would like to make a motion to fund getting Bob bonded.
Tongue twister.
Yeah. Can I get a second?
That's probably through Gallagher. I don't think there's any real cost to that.
Okay. All right.
That's part of our insurance.
So you'll second it? Any questions? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right. So moved. Also, I would like to make a motion for Bob to get signing authority for our checks.
Is that by resolution?
Does that need to be a resolution?
I don't believe so, no. I
We
think a motion,
we did resolutions for that in the past. but I
That's
think
correct.
I think the last resolution we passed was that we made it,
Conditional?
no, well, we made it title specific, not person specific.
Okay, great.
If memory serves me, that it was president,
Secretary?
Finance and secretary.
Right.
So do we need to take any action on that?
still want to make a motion, I think, if we're gonna give the
Well, I think we should,
specifically Bob signing authority, then if we want to put that in the nature of a formal motion.
Okay, I've made the motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Can I get a Whitney?
well, can we locate that record, that motion that we made that time ago that you're referring to, Barry?
The
I
resolution?
mean, it would be back in the,
Like March
I think it was in 2022.
last year,
yeah.
like March or
It was March or
March?
April.
April.
Yeah,
So,
we'd have to go back in the records.
Bob, do you have access to those records? Do you know where that is, or how that's organized?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Look, we want to keep all
Like
this.
Costigan.
No, let's not push the issue.
All right, would you look that up,
Yeah, I
Ms.
will.
Bob?
Yeah, it's,
In the
Okay.
meantime, I've got a second. Are there any questions? All those in favor? Opposed? So moved.
Because if it does not say what Perry said, then we need to
Yeah, yeah.
redo what we just voted on.
sure, for sure. Yeah, I'll take a look, see what I can find.
Okay.
All right, I would like to add an item to new business, the office hours. We've discussed this a few times, but I'd like to try to make a motion. This time, I talked to Bob, and he agreed that Tuesdays, he could work 12:30 to 2:30 and then 3 to 6:30, which would give us one evening a week that people could come in if they're not able to come in during the day. Otherwise, his schedule would be the rest of the week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 8 to 11:30, 12 to 2. So I'd like to make a motion to add that to the agenda.
I'll second it.
Any questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Can I just ask you a question? I don't have any authority, but it's closing at 2 and not 2:30?
Yeah, because Bob doesn't want to take an hour lunch. Previously, the secretary took an hour lunch.
Oh, okay.
And so he wants to take a half-hour lunch, so we shaved it off the 2 to 2:30.
My understanding is the secretary only got a half an hour and was not paid for the additional half an hour that she took.
Actually, that's not the case.
She got paid for the whole
Hour.
hour?
Mm-hmm.
And could you repeat the Tuesday hours, please?
Sure. 12:30 to 2:30, 3 to 6:30.
And we're going to close the office at 2 then every day?
Yes.
Every other day.
The other 4, yes.
The other 4 days a week?
All right, so I've now gotten it onto the agenda, so now I'd like to make a motion to change the hours to the ones that I specified.
I'll second.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Anyone opposed? So moved. That is all I have.
Wait, look, it's only 11.
I know.
If I go home this early, I'm like,
She's gonna think you've been lying the other nights.
what are you doing home so
The
early?
firemen want to say anything?
You wanna see what
Excuse
the
me.
firemen are here?
We have members of the fire company here, and I don't know if they missed the call to citizens or if they wanted to say something.
Okay?
Sure.
Yeah.
I don't want to stop the ending of the meeting, but I'm seeing them sitting there like,
Well, my name is Dave Lane. I'm the chief here at Parkside, the fire department. I just want to let you know that we are trying our hardest to bring the firehouse back to where it was years ago. We're doing everything in our power. We are open to the public. Anybody who brings their kids, wants to do anything at the firehouse, we are wide open. There's nothing, I have made it my mission from day one that we are transparent. I don't have nothing to hide, and the thing is, you know, as everyone is, we're struggling. It's not, I took over in January, and I've been working every day. I don't sleep at night. All I think about is what I can do to make it better and safer for the residents of this borough. As you know, I mean, others will know, Chief here, Brunswick Fire Department, that we have expenditures. Our trucks, we have one that just went down. It needs to get repaired again. I can't afford to get a new truck. So every borough around us gets a truck bought for them, by the township, by the borough. We've never come to council and asked for a fire truck. That's $1 million. We have 2 30-year-old pieces of equipment, and our newest piece is 2008. So that's what we work with on a daily basis. So when you ask us, you know, why do you see this fire truck? The one that made all the noise, I guess everybody heard that running up and down the street, the one that makes all the noise. Well, that's the one that's on the side. And we are conscious about that. So I come here tonight to see, is the borough going to give the fire company its quarterly check?
We approved the check.
Okay, I just want to, you know, I was asked.
It's in there, you can get it after.
Okay, I mean, just asked, but I wanted to introduce myself. And
Appreciate it.
Anybody who wants to come to the firehouse, any questions you have for me about anything about, I'll tell you right now, I handle the fire side. I don't do anything with the inside. I am the most non-political person in that firehouse. Nothing, you know, nothing's in there that shows that we go left or right or center or back. So we're here for you, and we're here to protect you. I have members right here, he lives in Jersey, and he's in the firehouse every day. Every night, he spends every night there. He doesn't have to do that, but that's the dedication that we have to the residents of this borough. I don't even live in Parkside, but I'm here every single day at that firehouse to make sure that we respond. 59% of our calls are medical calls just in the borough. Out of 150 calls this year, we've missed 3. Out of 150. That's a volunteer station. There's my manpower for the night. That's it. Besides who else is coming, but we are actively recruiting. I welcome anybody who wants to come do our application, join the fire company, please do. I can use all the help I can get. This is not an easy job. and it's not one for the faint of heart. But we can use the help. So if anybody wants to come up and volunteer or be part of it, I welcome you, because I need help. It's hard. And I'm tired of going to bed every night and sleeping for an hour, waking up going, how can I fix this truck? Well, whose gear could I get fixed? And this all costs money. They spent $30,000 on a truck just to get 2 things fixed. 2. Fire trucks are very expensive to fix, and they're very expensive to buy. We're not here to ask for anything other than help. That's all, just help.
Do me a favor and, after the meeting, give me your contact information.
I will.
All right?
Right here.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
Thank you.
Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
I'll
Second.
entertain that. I'll take it. All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.